What's up, YouTube? This is Yugiohstickman here of the YFOA, the Yu-Gi-Oh fans of America. DigiFreak9 is not with me, so yeah. But first things first. I have some news. I partnered with another person on YouTube named Wonder Orbit, so we were going to be doing a partner channel thing, and it would be appreciated if you guys went and checked him out. He's only got one video up right now. It's a dual network duel of his Chain Burn versus a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. I think it's interesting to watch, but so we're going to be doing partners for that, and then this is a whole team channel with DigiFreak9 and I, and so yeah, today I'm going to be bringing you guys a deck profile, and basically I got some new stuff, so I guess I'll flash that first. First, I got a TG Hyper Librarian. I'll get down for you. This guy, I love him because every time you sync, you get to draw a card so long as he's on the field. Plus, he's really easy to sync for, and he's got 24 and 18. So it's not like he can be taken out really easily. Although the times I have synced for him on like dual network, he has gotten taken out, but due to a card effect because of his attack. And that'd be against like a Chain Burn deck or something like that relies heavily on card effects to clear the field. Next thing, I actually got him from my vendor, which is actually Wonder Orbit. So next thing is to Genex, because I do have plenty of Earth Monsters in here, and I run 3 controllers, so that means it leaves me with plenty of options. Plus, if one of him gets destroyed, I can always bring him back. And his effect is really good. If there's another Genex on the field, then you can switch the attack and defense, which are 18 and 28. So he's really good, and he's easy to sync for, just a simple 6 stars. Alright, now we move on to the older synchros. I'm just going to show the whole deck, try and do this as fast as possible, but this might be in more than one part though. Wind Up Zenmeister. I'm looking for a Wind Up Zen main, so I'm gonna try and get that. Also, if you want to duel me on Dual Network, you can look me up at Yugiohstickman, or you can look up the YFOA. I'm the main one that uses it, so my deck is the default deck, in case you're curious as to who you're dueling. Number 39, Utopia, and Gem Knight Pearl. I feel like another one of him would be helpful because I always go for him, whereas I don't really go for these two. Like, I'm even willing to sell him for a Leviathan, just because Leviathan is so good and he's easy to sync for, especially since this deck has so many level 3 and below monsters, whereas all these are level 4. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're easy to get out, or get out, but I mean, I just feel like a level 3 would help me. So I'm willing to, I even use this one. This is like the order in which one I use them. Most, decent, and least. Because Zenmeister, he gains 300 for each Ixies attached to it. So he starts at 19. And he can end at like 25. And then you can detach a material from him. Target a face-up monster you control, change it to face-down defense position. And then during the end phase of the turn, change it to face-up attack position. So, I mean, he's really good and he's useful. I just don't find myself syncing for him. I honestly can't explain why. I mean, they're all good. But, actually, Utopia, I probably sync for the least amount because I don't know, he's good, but eh. You know what I mean? Like, when any player's monster declares an attack, you can detach an Ixies from the card, negate the attack, and then when the card is targeted for an attack without an Ixies, he's destroyed. It's basically another Stardust, but in Ixies form. And, it's not an effect that would destroy another monster. It's an attack. So I'm willing to get rid of Utopia for a Leviathan. I'm looking for his unmeans. And possibly another Gem Knight Pearl, but I think I'll be okay with that. Alright, now onto the basic synchros, and stop explaining to try and make this video as short as possible. Stardust, Plasma Fighter, and 2 Triforces. These are the real heavy hitters of the deck. Hold on. Well, I'll get to the Triforce later. But these 2 are the main heavy hitters of the deck because he's got 28 plus he gains another well, he gains attack for every warrior in the grave. I'm trying to read this upside down, so I don't know how much. But anyways, you all know Stardust effect. Semi hitters, 2 Triforces. Move him down some. And a card called Tri-Arm. You should know what they do. I think I explained them in a previous deck profile. If not, then I guess you can just look them up. It's Genex Ally Triforce and Genex Ally Tri-Arm. And the last 2, which are the weaker synchros of the deck, Skynet, the Force of Earth. 1, because I don't go for him much, that often, because he doesn't have an effect. He's just a 26 beater with only 800 defense, so he's really, he's out there. You're taking a risk if you use him. Then, Ancient Fairy Dragon. Sorry, that's Ghost, so you can't really see it, but that is Ancient Fairy Dragon. I have her because I like her and she's Ghost Rare, but I mean, she's only really useful if you're dueling like a Unity deck, which relies heavily on like Dragon being the field spell. Now, onto the actual deck. Starting with spells. Book of Moon. Let me center this. Book of Moon. You should know. I'm not going to explain any of these spells because you all either know what they do or you don't, and you can just look them up. I'm only going to explain the actual monsters for changes. Lightning Vortex, 2 MSTs, Dark Hole, Avarice and Duality, Reborn, and Inferno Reckless Summon. That's one of the changes. It's because with my deck, you're constantly special summoning. You're using other monsters' effects to special summon things, especially with my Genex Ally Reliever, which is coincidentally right here. Move this down. My soldier just popped and it hurt. Move him over. Okay. This guy, when you negate a spell card, trap card, or effect monster's effect, done by your opponent, you can special summon him from your hand. If you have him down, special him. Well, actually, it won't work for this one. But say you have controller specialed, and then you activate this. You get the other 2 out, and then boom, you have 3 controllers down. Then all you have to do is negate something, and then you can play him. And then, I'm just pointing at the 2 of them. But then you can play him, and then you have 3, tuners out on the field, which with this amount of stars is 5 stars. So you can pretty much go for anything in the deck, because I'm pretty sure controller has 3 stars. Yes, he does. So you can go for anything in your extra deck at this point. So, alright, on to the traps. I think I'm going to stop this video at 11 minutes, or after I finish the traps, because there's not many. Alright, bottomless, because people are constantly throwing stuff at me that has more than 15, and then I'll wipe out my monsters completely. I just think bottomless is a useful card anyways. Torrential, and you'll notice I added a lot of traps too. Before there was only about, I think, 1 trap in here. Now there is 7, or 6 actually. Alright, Torrential, know what that does. Just because I may have something out in the field, but say like when I face Wonder Orbit's chain deck, or his newer deck that you just tried out, it's basically a he's forcing you to lose life points every time you gain. So he'll play a card, I forget the name of it, but it's a monster. Then he'll play a card which makes him draw, but then the opponent gains 3,000 life points. Okay, well, I can change torrential, and because my effect resolves second, but it resolves before his the spell card that made him draw. All the monsters on the field are wiped out. Then his spell card activates, and I get to gain 3,000 life points for the small cost of whatever monsters I have in the field. Plus, he would have already summoned, so you'll be plus winning him with he'll be forced to end his turn by maybe playing a back row. I don't know. And then next turn, it's practically your turn at that point. Then you can just summon stuff. Excuse me. Then you can summon stuff and go off. Mirror Force, you know what that does. Dark Bribe, you should know what that does. For decks like his Chainburn and like his, I guess the deck that I just described, it basically sucks away all your life points through card effects. So when you would gain, you lose through card effects. He has just one card. It's like he has two of them in there, and they're like $30 cards. They're crazy, but the effect is really good. Stardust, Starlight Road, for the mere fact of being able to get out Stardust faster. Now, this card doesn't necessarily have to be in there, because a lot of times, when I faced Wonder Orbit and all his decks, like his Gadgets deck, I beat that. I beat his Troll deck, is what he calls it, and I've beaten his I've beaten one other deck of his. Actually, just recently, we're in a tie with that deck that I told you about that sucks away your life points. He beat me first round, I beat him second, so we still have to finish that up. And his Chain Burst deck, that's really an obstacle for me to get around. I don't know why. I think it's because whenever I face it, I don't really draw into like my spells and stuff that'll counter his cards. But anyway, off topic. Because say someone plays a Dark Hole on you, or say someone uses like an effect that will just like wipe the field, or say you go off on someone but they don't have anything, then they flip up a torrential. Well then, because it's affecting two or more cards, you chain that, negate it, and then you got a +1 with Stardust, just instant special summon. So now you've got 3 or more monsters on the field. So, and so just because I can. I really find it useful in my deck anyways. Next are the monsters. Gores, because I found myself against his Chainburn deck a lot of times with an empty hand, but this guy, he can really be sided because I'll rarely ever have an empty hand. With all the effects in here, I'm always specialing stuff to my hand, specialing stuff to the field, and like searching for stuff in my hand. And recently I haven't even been coming across him in duels, and plus I haven't even been running out of things in my hand. So he can stay in the deck for now, I guess, just as a precaution. Plus, I mean, he works with what's it called? Effect damage anyway, so. And it's not even that you don't have to have cards in your hand. It's you have to have him in your hand. You don't have to control anything, so my bad. But anyways, I mean, usually I'll have something on the field, but if not, then, if he's in my hand, whether it be effect or battle damage, summon him, defense mode. And then battle, you special summon a Gore's token. It's a fairy type, light, level 7, attack and defense question. And its attack and defense are each equal to the amount of battle damage you took. So, special in defense, get out Gore's token, and his attack and defense are basically, say I take 3,000, then it's got 3,000, 3,000. So, I mean, and I would still take the damage, I believe, because, yeah, I still take the damage, but then now I have a Gore's on the field, which has 27 and 25, and a 3,000, 3,000, so he's always a +1 in every deck. And then effect damages inflict the same damage that you took back to your opponent. I really like that one because, say he does, which Wonder Orbit has done this to me, he'll activate, the effect of I forget the name of the card, but he draws one, then you gain 3,000. Well, he had this monster on the field that, basically every life point you gain, you lose it instead. And I had a torrential set, but my point is, since he had that, I would have lost 6,000 life points. Okay, well, he only had 5,200 left. I had about 9,000 from negating his earlier plays. If I had a Gores in my hand, special, let's see. I would have specialed it, and then I would have dealt 6,000 back, and that would have been game. You know what I mean? So Gores is always a helping hand in practically any deck. So I really like the Gores. That's why I've been trying to obtain the Gores for the longest, and especially since it really goes well because it's a dark type monster. Back to the deck. 2 solids. Wow, this video is getting really long. I think I'm going to cut it here. Alright, so this has been Yugiohstickman of the YFOA, partners with Wonder Orbit, and peace out.